Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Nasdaq price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. And today, of course, it was a very volatile day due to the interest rate decision and the FOMC meeting. And here we go. We see a very high volatility. Now we saw, of course, also the low was taken, and we said, of course, once we take the low, we invalidate this diagonal, right? So so we cannot consider this diagonal anymore. So we're gonna remove it, and we said, of course, confirmation for lower because this diagonal is invalidated, right? So now something else totally might unfold, of course, after this volatility. We saw a resistance exactly with this trend, by the way. And that means, of course, we still potentially looking for lower, but very possible like one more high can be possible, like just taking the high just to make it like, okay, I finished this wave one as a leading diagonal, whatever we're gonna get here. This can be, of course, all of it a very complex structure, corrective structure, where you probably have W, X, and a Y. However, I don't like it that the Y looks very big, so I don't see it yet as WX and a Y, unless if this is a zigzag. And as you can see, the structure doesn't get fit, so there is something still unclear in the structure. It's very corrective and very complex. I would say potentially if we get one more low, then it might get a little bit much more clearer as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, maybe ending diagonal for a B, and a C. So this is your wave one. So this is what I see, guys. Potentially it can be a big wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, ending diagonal for an A, B, and a C. But if this is the case scenario, that this wave ABC is still like unfolding for a longer time, that means, of course, that we start to get like a very long A, B, and a C. It's a little bit not really nice to see it, but at the end, I mean, this is a price action, as is the volatility of the price that we got today. So we have to deal with it in a way or in another. So I believe that because it is corrective, I still see, of course, potentially we might take one more high before we drop down. And again, of course, I will repeat that whatever is gonna happen in this area, I'm not interested at all anymore, of course, to move for higher, right? I mean, it might move higher, but I'm not interested to enter the market because, well, it's very risky, right? I mean, it can just drop simply toward the downside. Now, I don't want to give a scenario that it might not be very clear, and I don't see yet a clarity here. And that means we have to be very precautious. We have to stay out a little bit to see a clearer price action, because we simply see volatility and just sideways, right? But what it says is that we are corrective, okay? Since the trend currently is towards the upside, so after this correction, which it can be done with one more low and then moving higher for one more high, okay, let it be. But at least we get a clear price action, and then, of course, we might still move toward the downside soon or later. This is what I would like to say, soon or later, right? So this is what I see for Nasdaq. Still very corrective. It's getting complicated here, and this is a signal that we are very close to the top, by the way, meaning one more high can be possible, but we're very close. All right, so for the SPX as well, we can see today also a lot of volatility happened, as you can see, and SPX is also very corrective, and it's going like very ugly structure, like an expanding triangle here. Expanding triangle, which is very rare case scenario that you see only in a complex market. of course, in a volatile market and very complex situation. So basically, the interest rate has made has caused some confusion today. But basically, I'm still looking for higher. I'm still looking even for one more high for the SPX, at least to hit this blue box, even if the lower part of it would be more than enough, or at least taking the high. Just by taking this high here impulsively a little bit, that would be more than enough, right? Yeah, and then finishing a wave 5 potentially here. This is what I would like to see tomorrow, especially that we are corrective here. Now, this might start, of course, to move towards the upside. You would like to see this trend here broken, yeah. So yeah, very complicated, guys. I cannot say that, okay, yeah, I'm tackling this situation here. All what can I say is that it is corrective. It still can move for higher, and we are very close to the top again. Yeah, very close to the top, and it's gonna move down soon or later. Okay, it was one more high. Yeah, so this is what I'm expecting. The MACD is also very confused. There is a lot of confusion and uncertainty in the price action. The 1 hour chart momentum has started to shift toward the upside, so potentially we might see, of course, this high. Here is the catastrophe. We have, of course, the bearish cross, yeah, on the 4 hour chart, which is a very high time frame, and the momentum is shifting towards the downside on the daily. So it doesn't matter for the daily. I mean, we can still get one more high even if the momentum is shifting towards the downside. But this is catastrophe, yeah. So I mean, not catastrophe. I'm saying like this is kind of a confirmation that we're very close to the top. We still need one more high, and then moving towards the downside with this potentially bearish wave 2, yeah, and then moving toward the upside. Yeah, so let's see what's gonna happen tomorrow. Again, as a conclusion, I'm not interested. I see it that we are already in this leading diagonal. Sooner or later, we're gonna move to the next blue box. That was it for SPX and NDX daily close. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.